get ready to overload your brain with the weirdest, wackiest, and most totally random facts you never knew you needed. From ancient history to outer space to things you'll question even being real, these are the top 50 most random facts ever. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll be that one friend who always has a fact for everything. Number 1. In New York, a pyramid was erected on Park Avenue to honor the soldiers who died in World War I. It consisted of 20,000 helmets taken from their defeated German opponents. Number 2. Airplane toilets are coated with Teflon so that waste doesn't get stuck when it's flushed or sucked away. Therefore, the amount of water consumed is minimal. Number 3. In order to get Paul McCartney on board with the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967, the festival organizers had to guarantee a performance slot for the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Jimi closed his performance by setting fire to his guitar, making him an instant rock star. Number 4. Nevada did not have the southern point where Las Vegas is presently located when it became a state in 1864. Before 1866, Arizona claimed the land, but Congress gave it to Nevada as a reward for the state's loyalty to the Union. Number 5. Despite having no words, the 1958 song Rumble by Link Wray was banned by various U.S. radio stations for encouraging juvenile delinquency. Number 6. Despite initial reports, Princess Diana did not pass away from her injuries sustained in the automobile crash until 5 hours later, when a rupture in the pulmonary vein of her heart caused her to succumb to blood loss. If she had been wearing her safety belt, she would have had an 80% chance of survival. Number 7. In 1975, passengers aboard an aircraft operated by Japan Airlines were served an onboard lunch that was infected with germs. One flight attendant and 195 passengers became ill as a result. About 144 of them needed to be hospitalized, and 30 of them were considered critical. The manager of Japan Airlines catering service took his own life after the events, and he was the only fatal victim related to this incident. Number 8. If a house sparrow can't find a mate, it may help a couple in the hopes of being chosen as a replacement mate in case one of them dies. Number 9. Despite the plant burning down in 1995, Malden Mills CEO Aaron Feuerstein opted to continue paying his 3,000 employees their full wages during the reconstruction process. This resulted in Feuerstein losing $25 million his job as CEO and his filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in November of 2001. In 2007, Malden Mills declared bankruptcy once more and ceased operations. Number 10. In order for the Apollo lander to take off without incident, the astronauts had to abandon some of their belongings on the moon. Among these were 96 bags of poop, urine, and vomit, as well as golf balls, cameras, boots, and a telescope, among other objects. Number 11. The ancient Romans enjoyed visiting new places as much as anyone nowadays. The Romans' favorite attraction was the Pyramids of Giza, and local tour guides lied to them in order to entice them and make money from them. Number 12. The Gimbals manager in the film Elf wears a Wanda name tag because Wanda Sykes was originally cast in the role. Number 13. Maplewood is used exclusively for sports flooring due to its great shock resistance. This property allows the floor to bounce back in response to foot activity, protecting the athlete's joints and reducing fatigue. The ball's bounce is enhanced by the wood's shock-absorbing properties. Number 14. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about Earth, since nearly 80% of the ocean has never been mapped, explored, or even seen by humans. Number 15. The Yellowstone caldera is a huge supervolcano located in the United States. If it erupts again, it won't destroy mankind, but it may trigger a new ice age by drastically changing weather and climate patterns. Number 16. Since the Beatles stopped performing in public in 1966, classic albums like Sgt. Pepper and the White Album were never performed live. Number 17. Creed, a Christian pop rock band from the 1990s, originally went by the name Naked Toddler when they played their first gig. Once the group realized how horrible it sounded, they promptly changed their name. Number 18. Chicago lights its gas burners at the track switches on its railroad lines to keep trains running smoothly and on time during the harsh winter months. Most of the switches in other cities in the USA are heated electrically. Number 19. Dogs can't or don't have the ability to chew food side to side, and their saliva contains no digestive enzymes. Because their food does not require as much chewing as ours does, their jaws only allow for up and down movement. Number 20. Snuffleupagus is a character from Sesame Street. At first, he was just Big Bird's imaginary friend, but it was later decided that he should be made real so that children would be more likely to talk about being abused. Number 21. Within its first year of release, Pac-Man earned $1 billion in quarters. In 1982, it made $6 billion in quarters, which was more than what was spent that year in Las Vegas casinos and U.S. movie theaters combined. Number 22. Dogs have much more expressive faces than wolves. Dogs, in contrast to wolves, actively seek out human interaction and have far greater control over the movement of their eyebrows. Looking into a dog's eyes has the same effect as looking at a child. Number 23. Van Gogh's painting Café Terrace at Night can be dated to within a day or two of when Van Gogh finished it because of how accurately he painted the stars. Number 24. Sausage dogs, or dachshunds, were created for the purpose of hunting European badgers. These dogs would burrow for hours in search of their prey before dragging them out by the face. Number 25. During the Vietnam War, C4 was used to start fires because it burns like wood and doesn't go off unless a blasting cap is used. Number 26. George Washington wouldn't go more than 25 miles from Mount Vernon to attend his nephew Lawrence Augustine Washington's wedding because he wanted to spend his retirement years close to his beloved estate. Number 27. Ames Cook mapped Sandy Island, which he located in the Pacific Ocean near New Caledonia in 1774. After being shown on maps and charts for almost 200 years, an Australian survey ship found proof in 2012 that the island had never been there and may have been a pumice raft instead. Number 28. Inside the U.S. Capitol Dome, a painting of George Washington becoming a god takes up most of the space. It's called the Apotheosis of Washington, and it's clear that it's just a metaphor for how people felt about our first president. He is surrounded by figures and signs from Greek and Roman mythology. Classical art styles were and still are very popular, and this gives you a small idea of how the Romans honored their emperors. Number 29. When Amelia Earhart failed to arrive at her last destination, Howland Island, a lighthouse was built there to honor her. The lighthouse on Howland Island was bombed during WW2 and later rebuilt as an unlit beacon. Howland Island is now a nature sanctuary with no human occupants. Number 30. Koala bears have chlamydia, and they can't take the same antibiotics that are used to treat chlamydia in humans because it would disrupt their gut bacteria balance, which they require to break down the eucalyptus leaves they consume. Number 31. King Tut's tomb was unusually small, most likely because Tut's intended tomb was used by Tut's successor for his own burial. King Tut became famous in the modern age as a result of his small tomb, which allowed it to be forgotten and protected from thefts. Number 32. An Amish computer does exist. It lacks media players, a web browser, and other entertainment options. The product is aimed at Amish farmers who are in need of a solution to handle their increasingly complex businesses. Number 33. Meals ready to eat, MREs, have a shelf life of 20 years, but they can still be eaten if the packaging is unopened and they are stored in a cold, dry place. Number 34. In the 1960s, futurists projected a shorter work week, and a Senate committee predicted that the standard work week would be reduced to 14 hours by the year 2000. They used the television show The Jetsons as an example. Number 35. Computer security was such a problem for the Kremlin that they had to resort to buying typewriters in 2013 to stop leaks. Number 36. Emperor Norton was the first and only emperor of the United States. He was a successful businessman in San Francisco who declared himself Emperor of the United States in 1859 after losing his fortune. The people of San Francisco largely enjoyed his presence, accepted his currency, and paid him a tax to cover his rent. Number 37. About 55 million years ago, the North Pole resembled modern-day Miami. Temperatures hovered around 74 degrees Fahrenheit, and palm trees and alligators were abundant. Number 38. Persian limes, the fruit often known as limes in the United States and Europe, are actually a cross between lemons and real limes, a type of fruit we now refer to as key limes. Number 39. Red pandas are one of the few creatures that can descend from trees head first because of their flexible ankles. Number 40. In the past, when the River Thames froze over, Londoners would hold frost fairs on its frozen surface, setting up bars, markets, and other festivities, including a parade of elephants on its surface. Number 41. Due to how realistic the game is, footage from the military sandbox game Arma 3 has been used in the news as if it were real combat footage more than once. Number 42. As a general rule, the average number of times paper may be recycled is 7. After that, the fibers become too short and fragile to be reused. This is due to the fact that paper fibers degrade and become weaker with each recycling cycle, and some fibers are lost altogether during the recycling process. Number 43. Queen guitarist Brian May uses banjo strings on his electric guitars. Banjo strings are much lighter, thinner, and can bend much easier, giving it that signature Queen sound. Number 44. Christian Bale had dental work done to make his teeth more perfect for American Psycho to match the superficial appearance of his character, Patrick Bateman. Number 45. Measured by its longevity and popularity, Cessna 172 is the most successful aircraft in history. First produced in 1956, more than 44,000 were made as of 2015. It also holds the world record for the longest manned non-stop flight of 65 days, which was set way back in 1959. Number 46. Onions have sucrose, a natural sugar trapped in their cells. The longer you cook an onion, the more sucrose is released, and the heat converts the sucrose into glucose and fructose, which are sweeter sugars. This process is called caramelization, and it creates very sweet-tasting onions. Number 47. Using recycled glass to make new glass requires 40% less energy than making it from all new materials. It saves energy because crushed glass melts at a lower temp than the raw materials. Glass is sometimes recycled into glassfault or is used as a landfill covering over waste materials. Number 48. John F. Kennedy suffered from chronic back pain. He underwent 4 back operations, including a discectomy, instrumentation, and fusion, and 2 minor surgeries, all of which failed to improve his pain. Number 49. In 1989, scientists at IBM succeeded in arranging 35 individual xenon atoms on a substrate of chilled crystal of nickel to spell out the initials, IBM. It was the first time atoms had been precisely positioned on a flat surface. Number 50. A dead body left on Mars would dry out and mummify better than Egyptian mummies. The first few stages after death, algor mortis, body cools, livor mortis, blood pools, and rigor mortis, muscle stiffening, would still take place, but there would be no other overt signs of decomposition. And that's a wrap on the top 50 most random facts ever. Which one blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this fact-filled chaos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss more randomness coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.